I just want to give you three views on Arlington from the past and draw out some lessons about what we can learn from them today. First of all, Lord Rowton, the great Victorian philanthropist. Rowton wanted to provide clean and decent accommodation for working men who in that era were forced to stay in filthy and disease-ridden common lodging houses. And Arlington was first opened in 1905 and enjoyed a reputation for providing the cleanest and best accommodation in London. Second, George Orwell. George Orwell stayed in Arlington in 1931, and he said it's one of the best lodging houses are the Rowton houses, where the charge is £1, for which you get a cubicle to yourself and the use of excellent bathrooms. The Rowton houses are splendid buildings. The only objection to them is the strict discipline with rules against cooking and card playing. Excuse me. And thirdly, a bit more recently, 1995, an Irish resident of Arlington said, "It's always been known as a doss house in Camden. Recently I was standing outside the front door and a woman came up, a respectable woman with 2 children, and one of the little girls was only about 3. She climbed up the steps to see Arlington House, curious, and the mother called over to her, 'Don't go in there, it's full of bad men.' And that's the general idea that people take of the house." So the first lesson, I think, is easy. There is still a great need in one of the world's wealthiest cities for affordable accommodation for the low-paid and those on the minimum wage. But hostels have become warehouses of the workless, and much of social housing is the same. About 60% of our tenants are on benefits. So the second lesson is not so easy. How do we change perceptions, and how do we encourage aspiration? At Arlington and across One Housing Group, this is what our task is over the next few years. In this building, there will be more people working than not. In this building, there will be commercial activity, people earning a living, people getting a job, getting job ready, people getting trained in construction skills. In short, there will be role models for people to aspire to. Over the last few years, we've worked across One Housing Group with our residents to get into jobs or training, and over 500 are now in employment, at a cost of only £300 each per resident, which is not a bad deal. And we put our money where our mouth is. At One Housing Group, we're supporting 44 of our residents into job placements within One Housing Group. And let me give you one example of what can be achieved. One young woman came to us in one of our young homeless projects in Camden because of domestic violence issues. We supported her through those issues. We provided an environment where she could study. She got 3 A's at A-levels, then she got a university place, and we supported her through all of that process. And it wasn't just any university, but Cambridge University, one of the most difficult in the world to get into. So a life changed, a life now on the road to contributing positively to society. And finally, the link between homes and jobs, and this is where we really do need the government's help. Why is it we penalise people who want to get off benefits into work? Why is it you can be less well off if you take a job? Rents are high in London, and you lose about 95 pence of every pound you earn on benefits. Contrast that to the controversy over the 50% tax rate for the wealthy just recently. So we're talking about 95% marginal tax rates for the poor. Now, it's great that Ian Duncan-Smith has recently recognised this and committed the government to changing it, to making sure the benefit system work for those in low-paid employment. So we can provide the housing, and with Sir Bob's help and Boris's help, but we need the benefit system to be reformed to point people to work, not to a life on benefits. Thank you very much.